This is Jackie from Gagnon Crafts and Life, and this is my Flosstube number 10. This is a channel and a video mostly about cross stitch and my cross stitch updates. This is my second time trying to record this video. It's March here in Connecticut, and I live in a higher altitude in Connecticut, and we have really high winds this month. So the last time I recorded, you could hear the wind coming in through the picture windows behind me. I was out in my living room catching one of the rare times that my husband leaves the house and my kids are in sleep. And I can record because I don't like having people hear me record. So I did record a video. It was quite long. Kind of March progress, some family news, updates. And as I was listening back and trying to insert pictures, I realized that that wind that I thought was a little loud was very, very loud, howling in through the windows. So here I am going to try to re-record in between some work while the kids are off at school and my husband's going to drop the car off or something to get some work done, and hopefully I can do part of this now and maybe part of it tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly when you're going to see this. I am originally starting this recording now on March 16th. I had recorded the other one yesterday. No, Sunday. Pi Day. 3/14. And now it's the 16th. Tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day. I like to celebrate a lot of the March holidays. There's Mario Day on March 10th. There was Pi Day on the 13th. I mean the 14th. There's the Ides of March on the 15th. My husband watches wrestling, and so Stone Cold Day is the 3/16. It's today. My son has his wrestling shirts on. It's funny. And then tomorrow is going to be St. Patrick's Day, and we will have, I'm not sure if we're going to do our big corned beef meal tomorrow, though I'm sure we'll have a small one, and then we're having our big family meal on Friday because a lot of his family is Irish. We won't be seeing his sisters that don't live here, but his mom and his sister and our niece that live in the floors right underneath us. Even though we're not in a one family home, we do consider ourselves to be in the same household because it's impossible to not see each other, especially as the weather gets nicer and the kids like to go play outside together in the backyard, same backyard. So, same school, all that stuff. Right. And since I wasn't really planning on re-recording this and I just kind of started jumping in, I do need to keep an eye on the time because I will have to go back to work and pause this. I don't have my spreadsheet with me or my tablet to see the spreadsheet. It's fine. We can do this. All right, we'll start here. I'm seeing all the projects that I have around me. This is the linen, and my cat is on my lap. And there we go. Go over there. Go lay down. Go. This is the Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler Sale that they're doing this year for 2021. I had done all of January, I had finished up February, and now we are working on March, which are these 3 banners. I forget how many little motifs there are, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't quite finish off the bottom of that one, but I have about 4 here and 1 up here, and that was my first week of March. I started working on this, and then I've kind of put it down because my Sal's from Happy Little Stitch Shop came in. I had paid my invoice a little bit late because I did not see the email come in, and then I went to go search for it before I was about to email them and be like, hey, where's my invoice? And they actually sent me the invoice 2 days before that, and it got lost in my email. So I'm happy I searched before I just emailed them and was like, hey, definitely all my fault. All right, so we had January, February, and this is the Glitter Village by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I'm selling this with the Happy Little Stitch Shop. And they are sending me a pattern every month. And so this is this month's pattern. Don't mind my nails. But they, you know, I've gotten some progress done on this one. That was week 2 of March during work. And then today's Tuesday, so yesterday a little bit during work. I didn't get to work on it much. While we have some downtime right now at work, it's also a lot of doing your own research time. So while I'm not on the phone as much, I still need to be looking at my screen a whole lot more because I need to be doing my own research. And my own analysis on various projects we're going to be starting. Sorry, my phone was having an alarm telling me that it is almost time to go back. Okay. So that's 2 whips. I did start the Prairie Schooler, a Prairie Year March, and I designed my own March tag for the bottom. And that is as far as I've gotten work on that. This one, instead of working on it while at work, I've been working on it in between. So the second week of March, after I got out of work, before the kids went to bed, if I had any stitching time, I would pick this up. Okay. Now, everything else up till now, you don't have a before picture because it's been, you know, finished till now, and now we're showing. Same thing with this. You wouldn't have had any progress updates on this one. But I think I may have mentioned it in another video, or I just thought, I'm sorry, my cat keeps landing on my lap and you can't see her, but she's here. I may have mentioned it, and I can't remember if I did, or I just kept thinking about it, forgetting to mention it. I am stitching all of these on a big, huge piece of fabric all together, all the same sizes, because I want to finish them all the same. But when you are not used to finishing cross-stitch work or anything, and it's your first time trying it, you know that your first 1 or 2 are going to, they're your trial pieces, right? They're the pieces you practice on, or you're trying to figure out what exactly you want to do. And I don't want any of the 12 months to look unlike the other 11. So I have designed my own piece, this tall by this wide, of my house. So I'm going to put in a picture of the cross stitch. No, I'll show you what the house looks like first. So if you knew my address and you typed it into Google, this would be the picture of my house that would come up. Okay, and then I designed a pattern off of that using like Lord Lovidian lettering, very similar to how I have all these letterings, and it says Home Sweet Home. And I think I found some like hearts online somewhere, you know, pixel art, and made up a border. And so here is the cross stitch design. I used Stitch Fiddle. I have a paid version of Stitch Fiddle. I know that you can have Stitch Fiddle for free, but I have a lot of patterns on my Stitch Fiddle. A lot of them were for crocheting before. So I have like my daughter's blanket, my son's blanket. I started working on some Gagnon blanket ones before I just bought, I had paid someone else to chart it for me. I have other charts on there. I was doing a lot of these, the months, charting them in Stitch Fiddle. I do like using Stitch Fiddle for a lot of different things. So here is my pattern in Stitch Fiddle. And I think they're actually really close together. Here is a picture of, though both the houses kind of mashed up next to each other, that you can pause and look at. Okay, so now you've seen all of those. I'm really excited about it. I will stitch it up. I have not finalized color choices yet. And part of that is also because I have not finished designing yet, because my mother-in-law has now decided she would like to get new siding on the house. And part of that new siding is going to be a stone look for the lower part of the house. And I don't know what that's going to look like. So I'm hoping that the siding will get done this year. And once that is done, I will take another picture of the house and kind of rechart it. Because when I do stitch it, I want it to be home sweet home of my home. And it'll be on my walls and it'll be super cute. So I'm excited about that. Yes. So while I think before I might have said I'm not caring too much about the prairie year rounds, and I wasn't caring too much about the prairie year months, but now I am. I'm thinking I really want to get all of these months done this year so that I can also stitch that other one and then finish them all off. If not by the end of December, early next year. So that is my goals for the prairie year for this year. From the prairie schooler, a prairie year. Okay. I have one more whip that is not right next to me. And I only have 10 minutes before I have to be back at work. So you will see that whip later in the video, or as I add on to the video. We are going to do haul because today my 123 stitch order and my Fire Poppies order came in. And so when I filmed this a couple of days ago, I wasn't able to actually show them. I just talked about them. So, haul. This one is my, this one's the order from Fire Poppies. Yes. From Fire Poppies, I got some Thread Magic and conditioner. I wanted to try it especially on my threads I'm working on for the bookshelf. Some of them tend to get a little frayed by the end, especially when I'm using blended threads. So I thought trying some conditioner might help. And if not, it got me to free shipping. Because isn't that what you do? You fill your cart until you get to free shipping. I got this piece of fabric. And I am trying so hard to remember what this fabric is for. It is a vintage Sahara 32 count linen from Yarn Tree, 1/8. I might have just liked it, but I feel like I had some projects in mind and I don't remember what they were. I love how they serge all the edging for you. It makes me super happy. I picked up another Snag Nabbit just to have an extra one in case I ever lose my first one. And then I picked up threads, floss if you will. And oh my goodness gracious, I couldn't tell you what half of this is for. So there's a couple of random colors. I think some of these are for some of the patterns I got during the time I got Love Lives Here. Yes, Ivy, Carrie Berry, Cherry Cobbler. Yes, so some of these are not for the Love Lives Here pattern, but I got a couple other patterns at that same time. I love how these are all kind of tied up together, and you can see like how they all kind of go together, along with Cobbled Pleach, Clay Pot, Shrimp Cocktail, and Ribbon Red. There's a bunch of different pink colors. And, okay, I do remember what these two are for. Stay. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to balance the order on one leg, and my cat's trying to lay on my other leg. I also got some Shabby Sheep and 01 Tin. So, what I got these two colors for, and now I'm going to move my order over to the bed, because this is a small office working space. I got that for my Glitter Village. I was saying before, this white in the Glitter Village does not show up on camera. In some lighting, I can get it to kind of show. But in general, when I look straight on at this, the fact that there are two trees next to this house that are all in white, there are tons of snowflakes that are up here. There are randomized snowflakes over here. There's going to be another tree here. It's just not stitched yet. There are snowflakes up here. I mean, you can obviously tell in the roof. You probably can see the white that's actually in the house, just like you can see the white next to these colors. These kind of blend into the background, and some of the fencing and the bottom, all these bottom snowflakes are all white. and they just blend right in with this fabric. I love this fabric because it's super shiny. I'm trying to get it to show on camera. Maybe more this way. Every weft and warp have glitter like embedded in them. And I really do love the fabric. I really do not like how the white is stitching on it. So I got some Classic Colorworks Shabby Sheep and a white tin, and I am going to try to do one strand maybe of them and stitch over the trees and then see how I like that. If I like it or I want to try another color, I will stitch over these snowflakes. If I like it, we'll start stitching in other places and choose one of these two colors to kind of overlay that white, which is not showing up. So I'm hoping that that fixes my, sorry for getting so close. I'm hoping that fixes the white issue. And I really do wish I remembered what this fabric was for. Or if I just liked it. I should write things down when I order. But I'm not going to do that. 5 more minutes. Okay. This is my order from 123 Stitch that came in. I saw this pattern from Michelle Bendy Stitchy. Her channel on YouTube, you probably follow her. If not, you could. I like watching a lot of her videos and a lot of her live streams, and I don't know, I watch a lot of different people, but she is one of them. And she had shown a pattern called it's called Always and Forever, and it says loving you always and forever, and she had done a giveaway for it. I didn't win the giveaway, which is okay, but I went out and I purchased the pattern anyway. And it does call for I am bad at pronouncing things, but Belsoir, and it's called Mer Bleu, and it's a variegated blue, which is the called for color, and I am looking forward to stitching with it. Figured it was only one color and worth it to purchase. This is a fat quarter of Hoffman. I think this is just regular fabric. This does not look like the whole, like this is not a counted fabric. So I think it's just a nice blue fabric with some designs on it. For finishing, maybe even finishing with this. I think it was probably just on sale and I added it to the cart. Okay. What else is in here? Whole bunch of DMC. I believe one of these is the color I am missing in my bookshelf pattern. And I believe the others are for a pattern I have coming up, which goes into Life News. So it is a good transition. Except I don't have time to transition it. And so we will show these fabrics again the next time I get to turn on the camera to record and talk about this new life update, which I have a pattern for, which I want to stitch, which I need to pick a fabric for. And I have a 30 count Portobello linen, a 32 count Country French linen, and a 30 count Moss Belfast. I believe the 30 count linen might be for Always and Forever. Since the other two are 32 count. Whoopsie. I just want to make sure I don't show you the pattern, so I'm going to keep it down here. Stitch count, finish size. Recommended fabric count, 30 count. Okay. And it just says a Century Brown linen from R&R Reproduction. So I probably didn't get the correct linen, but I did get 30 count so that it can be The finished size is a 4.5 by 6.5 on 30 count linen. So that'll fit in a 5 by 7 frame. I dropped the picture. Okay. So 5 by 7 frame. I will have this, and it will be on that 30 count Floribella with this floss, and I might make a couple of them on here because I think I ordered this a little large, so maybe I can make 2. And either frame them or back them, or even do a little bit of both. Okay, I am supposed to be logging back on for work. So again, I will come back and talk to you about these flosses and these 2 pieces of fabric, 30 count Moss Belfast linen and 32 count Country French Latte linen, which I think are both very nice. Not big. They're both pretty small pieces. But I have a pattern that will fit on them, or is supposed to. And I will be back to talk about it. Okay, so I have gotten off of work. I am going to pick up my kids in a few minutes, and I realize there are 2 cross-stitch projects we haven't talked about yet. So in the last clip, I just showed you those 2 fabric choices, so you can rewind a little bit if you need to see them again. The project I am going to be putting on that is, so a little bit of life update, and then we will 2 projects. Okay. I shouldn't rush this. I should just try to film this later, but I have no idea when I'm going to have light and nobody home. So, right, pattern. Here is a picture of the pattern I purchased, and the Etsy store I purchased it from will be in the description below. So it is a camping pattern. We are buying a pop-up camper. That's actually where my husband is right now, getting a trailer hitch attached to our minivan. We've looked up weight capacities and all that jazz. Really excited about it because last year we wanted to go camping. Usually we go tent camping with air mattresses, but still in tents. But all of the campgrounds around us were not accepting tent campers because the public restrooms were closed. So if you didn't have a toilet with you, they weren't allowing camping. So our pop-up tent does come with a bathroom. And so I'm excited. We are looking at one. It's in Pennsylvania, and it is about an 8-hour drive. And on Saturday, we've been doing a lot of the paperwork and financing and kind of things virtually. And then there's going to be some registration things that we need to do. And since we're buying it out of state, there are different things we need to consider. And so we're trying to gather all that paperwork. Also, they told us we needed a very special converter for this particular camper. So last minute changes on the things my husband's out doing right now to the vehicle. He also just called and told me that the brake converter, or is it converter? I don't know. The message is on my phone and that's where I'm recording from. But something about the brakes or a piece of the equipment that they won't install, and that he's looked at YouTube videos and it looks pretty complicated to install, and trying to find someone else who can install it by Saturday. But then he told me there's another option. It's just a little more expensive, and it's like a Bluetooth option. We're going to go with that one, mainly because of the time crunch, because on Saturday we plan on taking the 8-hour trip to go see this pop-up camper that we've already put a lot of time, energy into, talking to people. He's had a lot of phone calls with them, and we both have anxiety over phone calls to begin with. So I'm really proud of him for making all these calls and connections and getting a lot of the appointments and things that we need done. And regardless of the anxiety that comes with, I know a lot of people might not understand that just picking up the phone and dialing a number and having someone else answer on the other end who's not expecting your call gives some people a lot of anxiety. And we are those people. There is a reason why every time I leave an office, I will have an appointment booked for the next appointment, because I will not call you to book an appointment. It's really hard for me to call and book the first appointment. If you call to cancel and don't give me another date, I might see you in another year. That was a side rant that didn't need to happen. Okay, sorry. Back to stitching. So yes, we are excited. We are getting a camper. We are going to have vacations this year, whether or not it is just going to campgrounds with our camper. And even if the parks don't have anything else to offer, like if the pools are all closed again, if other things are issues, they've been spacing apart all of the campsites so that there's no two next to each other in general. No matter what else happens this year, we will have that pop-up camper and we will be able to go to some of these places. And so I am excited. And I even have my camping shirt on. There's no place like Gagnon Cabin. Not quite camping, but my father-in-law had gotten us a lot of these shirts a couple years ago. We've been up to Maine to cabins by one of the lakes where his family comes from. Sorry, my cat keeps trying to climb up my chair. And I only have a few more minutes. So, bookshelf. Upside down bookshelf, because I've been stitching upside down. Bookshelf. Here is a photo of where I started. I probably put in some stitches in this photo from the last time you've seen it, but okay, and then here is where we have gotten to. I believe most of my work has been down here. And then I took this out. Here is the page line, and then all the way over here, those are at the edge of the last page. So I have 2 more pages to complete on bookshelf, and then all the back stitching. And so we've come out this way. And because this is at the bottom of this Q-snap, I've been stitching upside down. Because it's easier for me to stitch up here than it is to stitch at the bottom of this with the weight. Even with, or I mean, if I used my stands the whole time, it would be easier. But yeah, super excited about this one. This is again from Lola Lotta shop on Etsy. I will also leave that shop linked in the bottom again. This one and my Cozy Stump pattern are both from that shop. And I have been stitching this on Pattern Keeper. This particular pattern does not, the symbols don't go into Pattern Keeper. So it's all black and, not black and white. Because of that, I uploaded the color PDF. And so even though when I highlight it, it's in gray, I also use that function on Pattern Keeper to make them translucent, the markings, so I can still see the symbol underneath, and it kind of gives you some of the color underneath. So that does make it easier to spot different symbols because I'm looking for a color in that area along with the symbol. So it's not just looking at black and white and searching for a symbol. I can also search for like the color area, and it makes it a little bit easier that way since it doesn't actually import the symbols for this particular pattern. The Cozy Stump pattern actually did import the symbols, so that was kind of cool. This one did not. Okay. What time am I at? 06. Okay. Okay. I think I'm recording again. I do have time then to show you. It's off the Q-snap. This is Reading Time. It's Heaven and Earth Designs by Randall Spengler. And I have done some different work on this. Here is a photo of where you have seen it last time. And here is where it is now. So in this top corner, there are 10,000 stitches. I am up higher than that now on Pattern Keeper because I decided, just going to move my chair out of the way. I decided to take this corner and go all the way to the left. And here is the farthest, my nails are horrible today, that's okay, the farthest left. So reading time will be that long. And I've decided to go down, just catching different colors. And I think 1 or 2 stitches below this is how tall it'll be. Can't quite get that in frame. And I did that because I have all of this extra fabric. So there's the end, and there's the rest of the fabric. And I'm going to cut it. I'm going to leave a generous border, very similar to this, top and side, and I will leave that border on the bottom also when I cut it, and then seam it off before I put this back into a Q-snap. Why? So I'm going to do all of that because I was watching Stitching at the Cabin, and if you don't watch them, you should. I will link their YouTube channel also below. They mentioned me in one of their last videos for stitching on reading time, which thank you so much. I think I got a couple other subscribers from that. Kind of fangirled a little bit when I was watching their last video with the lights off. It's not their normal video. They even say it in there, that's your first video, try to watch a different one. But it was still really good. So yes, I saw her reading time and her Q-snap, and it didn't need all this extra bulk. And so I was like, okay, well, I need to stitch to both edges so I can know where to cut my fabric, because I don't want to count and miscount, or measure and mismeasure. So I stitched all the way down so that I will have a very clear understanding of where I should cut. And that way I won't have all that extra bulk. For example, in this one, I have a lot of extra bulk over here, which means I don't stitch too much underneath this, right? This is my stitching area, even though my Q-snap is a larger one right now. This is my stitching area, and then I have the bulk kind of tied up. And I do this weird, this one's actually a little bit different, but these aren't actually long enough to have one tie all the way around. So there's like a couple different ones that are back there. And I might have shown in my other video how I had reading time with all those different ones. But yeah, now if I take away a lot of that bulk, a lot of these magnets should go all the way around. And so I'm really excited about that. Okay, that is, sorry, just got back from picking up the kids. Looks like sunglasses. Losing some light, but it still looks okay. So that is it for all of the cross stitching. So if that's what you are here for, thank you, and have a great day. Like the video and subscribe if you saw anything you enjoyed, and leave a comment of like what your favorite project is that I'm working on, even if it's not in this video. Also, let me know about one of your favorite projects. I like to pick up new patterns and kind of jump around with things. You will now hear children in the background because I just want to finish this up so I can edit it together with the photos and get it published. However, there is one more project that I would like to show, and that is my crocheting. So I took the first week of March and I worked on my Gagnon blanket. It's going to have the Gagnon crest on it. Here is a photo of what it will, of like the finished look of it. Okay. So just another kind of stitching. From here to here is what I've gotten. Okay. Right, Gagnon blanket. So kids always need something while you're in the middle of trying to do something else. So this is the progress I've gotten done the first week of March. I worked on it for 4 days, 4 nights after the kids went to bed. I do have quite a bit of stitching time after they go to bed before I go to bed. So it does take a long time. It is 360 stitches long. And this is about 10 rows. So about one hand's width from what I show you. So I mean, a lot of it's just like that red border. Here's the filigree, about that much filigree has been added. We definitely got like this inner loop. I know I have a lot of ends to tie in. This loop has kind of gotten started. A lot of work has been done with the bird. So again, if it's about one hand's span, you used to have part of the tail. And now we have a lot more of the tail. We actually are getting some of the body and some of the top wings. We had some of the feet, but now it's definitely coming up and connecting to the body. Again, tying in ends, it's a crocheter's worst nightmare for graphic work. I have been doing pretty good at keeping up with every 20 rows or so tying in, or at least I was good. I can now see that I have a lot on this end that is not tied in. Definitely more than 20 rows. But here's the other end's filigree, where we also have this kind of pattern piece and coming up. Okay. And then the part I like more is in the middle. So there's the scroll on the bottom all the way up to the top portion of the bird. And so that is my king size Gagnon blanket. And that is the end of this video, I believe. Trying to think through everything I talked about the first time I filmed this, and trying to see if I missed anything out. We talked about the wind. Okay. I don't know. So when I started filming this video, it was earlier today in the afternoon. And here's what I don't know. I don't know if I talked to you about the wind and what it did to my shed. So here's some life update. I will obviously cut this out if I already mentioned it in the beginning. But the wind was so strong. I mean, I already know that it was strong because when I was playing it back, even just a couple days ago, I could hear the wind in the video. That's why I'm refilming this. However, even a couple weeks ago, the wind was so strong, it tore one of the doors off of our shed in the backyard. Here are some pictures. So yeah, it ripped that door right off the hinges, splintered some of the wood. It is an older shed. We do plan on replacing it eventually. We have to figure out how to fix that door though. So that is a project that is upcoming. I've also talked about camping today, and getting a pop-up tent, the new pattern. Plans for the rest of March. Okay, so I do plan on working on the Glitter Village. I plan on starting my new Snow Village pattern that I got from the Happy Little Stitch Shop this month. I do plan on starting it. I don't know if with everything that's going on, my brain has been mush and just, it's really hard to cross stitch. So diamond painting has been a lot easier. It's been a lot more mindless. And so I don't really know how much stitching I will get done for the end of the month. I do know that I have some more work on reading time I want to do to keep up with my goal of 8, having it finished in 8 years. I think I still have like 400 stitches left this month to keep up with that goal. I know that I want to finish the Prairie Year March. I know I want to work on Glitter Village and Snow Village, hopefully finish them up, and go back to Linens and Threads March. I don't know that I'm going to work much more on the bookshelf, maybe a few days, if some of my headspace cleans up. It's really hard to work on that pattern right now. So we'll see. I might just pull that pattern back out next month and give it some days. Those are stitchy plans. I do plan on making another video just about diamond painting since I've started doing that. My Friday nights Zooming with my sister and her friends has been really fun. So I've been enjoying that, and I've gotten quite a few patterns. I really hope I can just end this video. I don't even remember where I was. I think that's it for today. I know we were talking about, plans. Oh, so one last thing. I am having a dentist appointment. I had one earlier this month. My daughter had one. It was great. She did amazing. She actually opened her mouth. She hasn't done that in the past, or if she did, it was the last appointment. And she did really great. I, on the other hand, the day before we went to the dentist, one of my fillings came out while I was flossing. Just the whole thing popped right out, big piece. So they have to refill and fix that filling. I guess I have another filling that needs a fix. And they found I had last year, in the middle of lovely COVID, or right before it all hit, or right in the beginning, I had some work done on one of my teeth, and I was supposed to get a crown put on. And they took the final impression. The in-between crown never stayed in. They didn't have it drilled down all the way. And they told me if it wasn't bothering me, don't worry about it. So I haven't worried about it. And the last couple times I've been there, or the last time I was there, it was later last year, and they didn't mention my crown from the last impression. I didn't mention it. And then this last time I was there, they're like, oh, like, we never put your crown in. I'm like, oh, I guess not. I'm like, it's just been, you know, kind of a crazy year. I know we got the impression done. I didn't know if you guys kept the crown, didn't keep the crown. We weren't able to come back in. They have it still. I'm going to get a bunch of work done on my mouth in a couple weeks, or in a week. I don't remember the date anymore. Which means my end of March video might be late, depending on how I'm feeling after that. Usually the day I get, they will be doing work in my mouth. I'm hoping this is the last time I need to stop and restart this video. Yeah, so my next video for the end of March, I don't know when it's going to happen. Usually after I get Novocaine, I might be out for a day. I'm definitely out for the day I have it. Sometimes the next day, sometimes a couple days later. For various reasons, anyway, you don't need the whole life story. It's okay. Just know that if my next video is up later, that is the reason why. Also that I have to find the correct day to film, because obviously after work, when the kids are home, is not a good day, and I don't like filming when other people can hear me or see me filming. Yeah. So with that, I will see you at the end of the month or the beginning of the next month, and hopefully I'll have some more stitching to share. Bye!